So, just did anybody clue you? When did you join?
Today.
Great. Okay, so let's clue you in. We're having a conversation about how this organization could function. Earlier it was a bunch of rowdies who came together and kind of put it. Now it's a larger team. You've joined. I guess more people will join. And as organizations develop, they just get messier. And they get messier in large by the virtue of becoming larger and more people, more ideas, more approaches, more difference. And then they call somebody like me to say, okay, hey, you know what, we need to do a leadership program, we need to do a team building program. All that stuff happens. And my proposal was that, look, while you're young, while you're still forming, if you get some things in place, then it might prevent the pain of in the future. And most of this stuff is around relationships. It's about how, and everything is about relationships. You can have policies, you can have rules, you can have all that, but that doesn't define what an organization is. So we talked about some stuff last time, and two things emerged. One was, so this is a summary for all of us as well, so don't shut down, okay? What we talked about was any organization, any group of people has a bunch of fixed things and a bunch of fluid things. Did you get a chance to look at the board? No, not yet. Oh, you just arrived.
It's
Sorry.
not on the board.
It is. So, and almost anything that's fixed can become fluid, and anything that's fluid can become fixed. And if if somebody's got a picture of that.
I do.
You know the stuff that was there in fluid and fixed or?
Yeah. So she gets a sense of what we're talking about because the rest of the org. Okay. So then we said, okay, what do we think needs to be fixed? Fixed means that's our driving force, that's our driving culture, that's what when in trouble, the first thing you ask is, okay, what does this mean for us and how are we living that? So two words emerged. One was quality, and quality was in the context of work, so the quality you produce, and quality in work doesn't emerge unless there is quality in relationships. So, and those quality of relationships are two things. One is internal and the other is external. So a client, you may have conversations with a client and the client comes back. I'm just doing a summary. So the client comes back and he says, look, I don't want it like this, I want it like that. And it might interfere with our idea of what's good. And at that point in time, when there's potential for conflict between client and TLP, then we're saying, okay, so what's our driving force? What do we mean by quality? And the conversation then goes back to, okay, do we want that client? Are we going to be judged on the basis of the kind of work we produce? And if that is, then what call are we going to make? And if it isn't and it's not too bad, then we just say, okay, instead of light green, we'll put dark green. Right? Because we want to keep the quality of the relationship with the client alive.
That was what we...
Right. And so a lot of it has to do with conversations. The other piece then that emerged from that was respect or disrespect. Yeah. And so a question that dropped into my head in between was, is disrespect the absence of respect? and I'm not sure what the answer is, but we'll come to it maybe. But I think respect is a very tricky thing. I might be immensely respectful, but it might be perceived as something, and then somewhere that conversation, it needs to go back to the conversation about, is there a reason you chose to say that or do that? Because in my world, because our backgrounds are different, that's disrespect. And what did you mean when you said that? That's where we were at, and I had said that if you want to continue this, then the value of it is not in just doing these sessions and me throwing concepts about functioning. It's about how much do you bring it into your own conversations and your relationships. So hopefully today is storytelling day, and what has been your encounter with these two words, quality and disrespect?
Whoever is going to start talking, please keep the mic in our hand before you talk.
So what's been our encounter with these two words in terms of
She has no question.
until now, or in respect to
In the time, it could have happened before, but we didn't get a chance to talk about it, and it may not have happened in the past week. But what has been your encounter with those two words?
But you're saying in light of TLP, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
like what I
Yeah, this is all about us.
Huh? Quality.
Amit, you want to start?
Like we had quite a bit of conversations actually after the session, which was very new for me because earlier when we had done this, that time we didn't have any interesting
Homework.
homework or that we taken seriously.
Yeah.
For that matter, to put it in that way. But a lot of conversation, according to me, in what I spoke to everybody, there was a lot of conversation happening in terms of not related to respect or disrespect, but I think respect and disrespect was step 2. But step 1 was having that conversation even about what is happening with respect to what they feel about being here. And I heard a lot of that in my personal conversations with each one of them. And I think that was a very interesting takeaway from that conversation we had that day about.
Did you choose to do something different, or
Yeah, I changed
consciously?
I was having conversations.
Do you remember what you did? What do you think you did differently for yourself?
I didn't. According to me, I didn't set a quality or a disrespect
Boundaries.
assumption or boundary when I was having a conversation. Earlier, I was going into that conversation with a goal of figuring out what to do or having an end goal, but I didn't do that this time. I was just like understanding where they are in terms of what the conversation I'm having. Like for example, a lot of conversation right now in the team has been around how the pitch decks have to be made. And like we've been at it for probably 1 or 2 weeks before the meeting happened, like our session happened, and immediately after that when there was just immense respect I think given to whoever was dealing with the final outcome of that. I think that changed the timelines also in a way. So I think more responsibility and more respect was given to the final call, like taking a decision where I wasn't involved at all.
Should have said that with a smile.
No, I haven't finished yet, but I'll finish after someone speaks, like after you guys speak.
I don't know if it counts as a cheat or not, but I have been using whatever happened in the last session with you in 2 places. Back with Strode also, I'm using it, and it's actually very interesting because you get to take the same. Can I call it?
Who is you?
Sorry.
Who is you?
Who is you?
You get to take.
Who's you?
Oh, you is me.
So can we?
Okay, you want to speak in eyes?
Thank you.
I got to take very interesting things from that, and taking a concept that you think is because while I was here, I thought it was like a unidirectional, unilateral thing that we were talking about, and we had conversations over here around. Again, even I wasn't looking at it from the lens of respect, disrespect, or quality, but I knew that eventually it would lead into that direction somehow or the other, which it did, and there was like a real-time organic exchange in terms of is this going to affect the structure of how we work, is this going to affect the timeline of how we work, and it was interesting to see because these are all moving parts of an organization that you think are transparent, but when you pay attention to certain things you can see this is how this moves, and it was very different for me doing it over here and doing it at Strode, because they were like two very different things. Like it's the same concept, but you apply it in two different places, and the outcomes are so different. But yeah, as a takeaway, I guess for me it was that 1 week is a very short amount of time to apply something and take something out of it. So
You think?
Or maybe I didn't do it enough.
Okay.
So, but I'm definitely interested in where these conversations go, and if there are more avenues than conversations or processes that can be applied, that bring more out of each
Structure.
one of us. Yeah.
Is your question how can some of this be introduced into structure?
Yeah. I mean, for the kind of rebel that I have grown up as, I love how, as a 30-year-old, I am in love with structure, and it just makes things easier, more explicable, more transparent, more comprehensive. So I'm looking forward to getting there.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No, I don't have any. I think in the last 1 week, probably I haven't able to figure out or didn't have a conversation about the topics or the thoughts which we had covered the last time. So probably I'll still take more time to get to a conclusion of dividing that disrespect and things. So I still need more time. I don't think I've just figured that out still yet.
Now you can talk.
Okay, so here's how that mic works. You've got to decide whether silence is negotiable. Because silence doesn't say anything. You realize that. And silence is, you may as well be absent. And if you're going to use silence as oh, I have nothing to say, then I have something to ask. So you can say pass. You can say I didn't do anything about it. I didn't think about it. It was not in my consciousness. So that's the place of the microphone, that you have the freedom to pass it on. But I hear you have something to say. So go ahead.
I think from last time, I think I thought about it. I thought about it in an overall sense. Like I think I'm still processing. I still don't know how to apply it in real time. But I think eventually one thing I realize is that I don't know shit at the moment. So we'll see where it goes in another week or two.
What is it you don't know?
And then last time I had said that I think on some days I know or I have it figured out, and some days I don't. And then it's just gone to I really don't. So we have to start like closely looking.
I don't have anything to say.
from the words we're using and what you've heard so far,
Yeah.
what's going on in your
I
head?
really liked what he asked for. That I don't know what problems or what, if not problems, what are we trying to address here. But I think anything, if you can bring into a structure that everyone can follow, that just makes it easier. So then things like hers that I don't, with respect to whatever things we're talking about, she doesn't know how to apply it. Is what you are saying, right? She didn't get the chance to think about it that way, stuff like that. So if we bring in some sort of a structure that can help address any kind of issues that we have, that's always better.
You think?
I think it makes it easier for a person to figure out what they're doing. If or not they're doing it, or if they're doing something wrong, or if they're doing something right. I think it's just better that way, to figure it out.
Okay.
So, I think for me, I'm in a place in the organization where I'm still figuring the skill set required for what I'm working with. In terms of what we discussed last week, everything that we spoke of aligns with the person that I am, and I have never been able to separate identities of the person that I am versus the person that I am at work. So when we talk of quality, or when we talk of respect or disrespect, it's just something that I either give importance to as a person as a whole, which is why it becomes essential that what our conversations revolve around these topics internally first, so that it finds its way externally as well. We may have different ideas about how we approach a client or how we close a deal, but on matters such as what we discussed last week, I thought it was great that we were doing it at the point that we are, where the organization is now really moving a notch upward. We're moving through hoops now. I felt it was essential to have these conversations so that internally we are aligned on what I think makes the foundation of it. So, yeah, I'm glad that we are having these conversations right now.
And what's the last week been like?
I think I see a conscious effort being made to understand each other's way of working, where we realize that we need to align and come together to make this work, and we can't be working in just inside our heads. So I think we want to bring conversations around quality to a point where we necessarily don't give up what my idea of quality is, but we find a way to understand the other's idea as well. I think there's a conscious effort being made, is what I've sensed.
Are you joining the organization? Why don't you help them with marketing? You're doing nothing in life anyway.
Thanks.
I have something to add actually.
Namaskar.
Anybody wants coffee, chai, tea, water?
Cold coffee.
Can we just be kind to her and do some
Give me the mic now.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give the mic.
Just telling numbers.
She figured it out. I think she has got it more figured out than we do right now. She comes with 4 coffees and 4 chais. Simple. So before you say something, what I figured out was last time we had a conversation about the ambulance and what being the ambulance meant. But this time I became the ambulance and I didn't have to be the ambulance. That was the funny part. I mentally got prepared to become the ambulance.
But you weren't used.
But I wasn't used. So when you say put it into structure, I got out of that structure to figure it out. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So, when this is more in terms of quality, okay?
Okay, can I just,
Yeah.
before you...
Sure.
So, we've got one round. You've not said anything yet. Right. So, we need to hear their voices before. So,
Yeah.
if you're okay with that.
Okay, from conversation point of view, I think so we had a great conversation with Jesse, like what you need to figure it out. Correct? With the client actually. Like, there were a lot of things going on. Correct?
You don't need confirmation. I want yours.
Is it the correct way?
Look here.
There.
Look here.
Okay. So it was all messed up and everything, and still we found out what's the great solution at that point of time.
How is it different from previous conversations?
I think so everyone was listening rather than giving out like the end point was having a solution rather than having more of like what we should do. Like it was a solution oriented conversation. Before it was like Advait used to sing do this and that's it, we would follow it. This time it was like an open-end conversation. Kajal was giving her inputs. Jesse was not on the calls yet. We were having a good conversation. Like it was a chill conversation. Yeah.
And you felt the difference?
Yeah, I also felt a bit of confidence. Like I can also
speak.
Yeah. And from respect point of view, other day I had a bad stomach and everything. So I had a conversation with Jessie as well, like she was figuring out like I'm not in a good shape to have I had a conversation with her as well, like it's not working. So she was also respectful and she told it, like it's okay, we can back out the project a bit. And I had to just call Advait like this is the scenario, and he was respectful that okay, it's your situation, you can just back it up. Yeah, so it wasn't disrespect at any point of time, but it was respectful.
Nice.
So
Thank
I
you.
felt really like as a person very respected when they didn't ask me, "Arey, Asaka, like you have to do, you are already there." Like he tried to push me a bit, but that was not disrespected, that was respected. Yeah.
He backed off?
I had to.
Did he back off?
Yeah.
Don't look at him.
I'm just figuring out what, like, did he back off? I think so. He was supportive. Like, he asked me to, like, if you can proceed, be there as a person, so he will always want me to be there and do the job. But yeah, he was, at point he backed off, okay, like, it's not working anymore.
Nice. Thank you. You've spoken.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure it out how to put it in words.
I get it. So now you get a sense of where the conversation is going. Yeah. Bindas bol, why?
So just last session के बाद like ऐसा जितना हुआ नहीं, मैं ऑफिस भी उतना ही नहीं आता, like last 2 दिन से ही आ रहा हूँ. So I guess I'm still looking out क्योंकि उतना कुछ हुआ नहीं अभी like activities की वजह से.
Okay. So I'm just before give it to him, but I think I think this process is still young. So we're probably trying to figure out, okay, did something happen? Didn't anything happen? And there are very clear instances of where people have recognized that something different has happened, or somebody is doing something differently. I hear two people at least wanting some kind of structure. Have I got that? Yeah?
I mean, I'm just very new, so I don't know.
Right, but just listening to you, I know where your brain's going. So, and you want structure of this is okay, this is not okay, this is right, this is not. Here's my point of view. You had a week. You had transactions and interactions with at least 10 people every day. Tell me if I'm wrong with any of my data. At least 10 people. And those 10 people include people within the organization, outside the organization, at home, everywhere. This doesn't work like, okay, once I walk into the office, I'm going to put on my respect and quality monitors on. That's not how it works. This is an approach to life itself. So, and then you bring it. Here's a place where we nurture it, and that's why we're here together. And outside, everywhere is where you practice it. It'll take us a little more time to figure things out, but just know that hell of a lot has happened in the context of these two words. You may not have been able to see it yet, but sometimes we've got to look at life through a lens. What I'm inviting you to do is to look at any conversation with that lens, and just something that you said, that he might do whatever he does, but you feeling that it was different is the beginning of any change. Does that make sense? So, an example would be, let's say you were conscious and you practiced something and you tried something, right? He might have an experience of it, and he may see himself in practice, and sometimes it gets noticed and sometimes it doesn't. Over time, the only way to find out is in this conversation that we have, that the question's going to flip in time, and my question's going to be, what have you noticed about anybody else? And that becomes your affirmation or confirmation. And just because it wasn't noticed does not mean that you did not try something. That's not a measure of it. It's just a recognition of it. Are we clear on this? Yeah.
So when it comes to quality, in my personal life, I try to be as humble as I can. But when it comes to the professional side of things, I like to maintain a little bit of this. Usually gets misconstrued as attitude, ego, different set of things. But the way I see it is when you worked on something and put in a certain amount of time towards it, you've clocked in hours, which in your mind when you were clocking those hours is practice. You're bound to look at yourself and build a perception about yourself. And like, to give a reference, the Mamba Mentality video that we saw and the conversation that we had about doing things for ourselves first, I feel like sometimes both over here and in Strode, I was maybe earlier being a little too aggressive, pushy with things, but the intent is not to be disrespectful towards someone. It's just that, hey, I know this is going to work, so let's get on with it. And Michael Jordan or any of the big league people that you look at, they, in the moment of performance, you do not care about anything else. You get hurt, I don't care. You're this, I don't care. You're that, I don't care. But when the work is done, let's sit together and let's have that conversation of what is your truth today. I'm there for that. So when I said structure, I wasn't saying that I'm expecting structure or I'm wanting structure, but it would be nice to have things or concepts that help me structure these things, because I wouldn't have been able to recognize these two things apart. If I keep pushing someone that hey, I want the pitch decks, or hey, I want the videos, or hey, let's do this meeting this way, or with respect to stored something else, I would have just been like, okay, fine, I've done that performance and it's done. But that question of what is your truth today, it was actually a little confusing, because I was like, are we supposed to use it in a conversation with someone? Am I supposed to go and ask someone this at some point in the day, or how does it actually go? And I felt like it would again be more than a week's time thing. Where does that come in? But I think that is, for me personally, I get to create some sort of framework where I'm going to take the liberty to use the word synergy, where I get to see what concepts I synergize with, and what are the, so I mean, if you look at it, it's a straight path ahead, and on the left and on the right I have different concepts, and each week is like a block, and each week I get like, oh, let's try this 10 different ways, works, okay fine, let's keep this. Next week let's try this, keep it, or add, remove, and that permutation combination keeps going on. I don't know if I made sense, but I wanted to share that.
I will understand what I need to understand. Okay. So, yeah, the first session may have been a little fluffy, and rightly so, because we're just dealing with, okay, who are we, where do we want to go with this? And those two words, and here's the beauty of it, any two words you could have chosen and we would still be playing the same game. It doesn't matter.
You would still be
Playing the same game. And the game is twofold. One is, so just picking up from what Jatin said, that I have an approach, a job needs to be done. Mamba mentality is really the preparation, not the outcome. It's about the effort you put in, because you want to put it in, not because somebody expects it. And then, legends are made from things like that. So it's like you got 6 seconds on the clock, and then who's going to shoot the ball, and then that's not even a discussion. Somehow or the other, we got to get it to Kobe Bryant, and then that's it. Because he's the man who's, and then if somebody were to ask him, he's going to say, "Are you crazy?" Of course, me. And there are video shots of both Kobe and Michael Jordan doing that. 6 seconds on the clock, and who's going to shoot? And think of it this way. Organizations try to build values and culture and so on and so forth, right? You can't build culture. You are culture. And who you choose to be here is going to build that culture. So if you value quality and if you value respect, then you bring it into everything that you're doing. And thank you. Your bucket. So I think what I'm going to do this time is to give you very measurable, actionable things to do. Thing, not things, one thing. Yeah? To practice something that eventually influences both respect and quality. Okay? I want a string.
We have lots of super.
Practice it with eventually. Is there space for one? Can we? Yeah.
उधर ज़्यादा जगह है.
Okay. You already take a? Oh, cool. Let's do one thing. Give me the scissor. Okay, we're doing this low budget right now, okay? But maybe I'll give you better string next time. How many?
That's not the point. We start feeling hard. Please start feeling hard. I want to go to
Have you got post-its?
Yeah.
Can you have some post-its?
है ना वो? किधर रखा है तूने post-its? बता किधर रखा है? क्या? Post-its वो जो ने कल चीटना वाले नाम
Sticky notes.
हाँ.
वो कब ड्रॉवर नहीं है.
कौन से कलर के?
Everybody got one?
जहाँ पे अमित बैठा था usually use है.
Why? Because?
Longer.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Ah, have you got bigger one?
No. I don't know.
Maybe.
Kajal,
Huh?
where is your
I should just be carrying it around, right? Never knowing when you need it.
We can't do it on the whiteboard or what?
No, this is an individual. Just a white paper.
कुछ नहीं है ऐसे फोन पे लिखना.
Paper है क्या?
नहीं.
Phone पे नहीं.
Hey, paper.
This is not a phone.
Books are paper.
हाँ notebooks पे.
Just take 2 sheets.
So why do you need old school?
Go for it.
I go. I hate doing that. No, it's going to ruin the book. No, don't. Old school.
Wait, we don't have spirals on, no? We have.
Spiral. किधर तो भी somebody's got white paper, yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
We don't need to tear the whole page, just
Ah,
like
yeah.
that we can eat.
Okay, wait. 1 second.
You said na.
If you
Somewhere
eventually
there's a half cup.
If you watch enough of these podcasts or meditation videos,
Half,
even-
not empty or full.
Yeah, half.
eventually you'll be like, there is no cow.
Right.
Brahma Kumari.
Okay.
Just coffee.
There is no coffee.
So these are all chai.
You want coffee क्या? उसको 3 कॉफी बोल रहे हो.
नहीं already बोला हुआ है coffee.
6 होगा वो.
बाद में वो चेंज हो गया उसको बोल दे बस एक बार.
4
Okay, we just take like a proper coffee.
4 ले. You, me, Janvi and Preet.
Is good. Yeah, it's going to eventually lead to whatever
Sahari.
quality and
Saha Jaha.
Shall I put it into half?
make each one into either 6 or 4.
Each one.
Yeah. Good, my kind, one-sided paper. And each one's going to need a pen, not a finger to write on your phone. This is done on paper. I'm going to try and introduce structure and form and anchors. Okay? Here's what I want you to think about, and then I want you to write it down. And this is only for you. This is not for anybody else. So just be as honest as you can. Okay, let's have a conversation about it first.
I have one.
You got a pen?
Yes, yes, here you go. Yeah, okay.
No, I don't, but I'll figure it out.
Okay. Whenever you're ready. I'm going to lay the foundation for what I'm going to ask you to do, so give me a few minutes. We're all messed up. We're all messed up.
No, I am. I'm just being looked at me. I don't know why I am.
You're also messed up.
That's why you looked at me first.
No, I didn't. Okay, you're also messed up. Anybody who feels you're not messed up, you can leave the room. Okay. As a group of people trying to get somewhere with something, we're also hugely messed up. And when I say messed up, what I'm another way of looking at it is we haven't figured it out yet. Sounds better, no? Happier? Yeah. We haven't figured it out. And I don't know if anybody has, including Brahma Kumari.
No, she has figured it out.
No, she hasn't.
Or so you think.
That's the basic premise. All life is trying to get out of that web, that mess. All life is about that. Whether it's money, roti, kapda, makan, relationships, everything. Everywhere, somewhere, our brain is going to a place where we're saying, I wish this happened instead of that. So, I'm leaving a pause after every statement because if you feel different, I want you to speak up and then we can talk about it. But if you don't, if you agree, then we are on the same page. Our mess, whatever it is, as people and as an organization, is because we pretty much live in the fixed. If you need to know what fixed is, then we can talk about it. You remember that list?
Fixed is what you decide to be fixed.
Take a picture so I can refer to it.
Quality, ethics.
Oh, you do? Can I just? Yeah, okay. Right? So I'm going to come back to that because
This time is past 12 o'clock.
I'm going to take 10 minutes and then it's all yours. 5 minutes. I know.
You can go on with the you don't have fixed.
Those of you who don't remember, Karthik, just read it out. What's in the fixed list?
Structure, ethics, quality, timelines.
That was in fluid.
Timelines are not fluid.
Timelines is good and fluid. लिखा है क्या किसने?
Okay. Yeah. Right? You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, all our biggest struggle, all our struggles come from. I'm going to put the fluid also into that because we talked of fluid in a context, but the truth is that they're also fixed things, right? We can see them as fixed. Timelines can be fixed. We can decide that we got to deliver to a client on a particular date, and for some reason, there's always a good reason not to deliver on time. All our struggles emerge from the fixed. And what that means is all of us have an idea about what should be. all of us, all our struggles come from an idea of what should be and how it should be. Okay, so far?
Yeah.
Each one of us, yeah,
I saw ethics in both the places.
yeah,
How? I don't understand that.
because none of us do. Ethics, values, beliefs are a little more tangible. Ethics and values are fluffy, and I don't think anybody's got it figured out, including the big organizations that give you dog tags with value cards on it. They haven't figured it out.
So why is it fixed?
Oh, because all our lives are around that.
Doesn't seem convinced.
Huh?
Doesn't seem convinced.
I don't understand it.
Okay.
You must
But
have
can I throw this cup of tea? Can I throw this tea on you, please? Why not? No, I won't because I'm going to drink it. But why not?
So how is okay? So you're saying that that is ethical or not ethical? No, can someone just please explain how is it?
You're not going to
fixed?
get any answers, Like, I forgot to tell you this, but you're not going to get any answers.
You know the answers. I'm not going to give it to you because you already know it. What's wrong with me throwing a cup of tea on you? What?
It's all you would like.
Huh? It's a horrible thing to do. Got it.
If you do it to a friend,
Huh?
sorry, but if you do it to a friend, the same thing,
Yeah.
Maybe it becomes a joke.
Yeah.
Then it's not.
Oh, your joke.
I mean,
I'm your friend.
let's go.
Your joke,
Done.
not mine, right?
I mean, that depends.
I mean, now, we'll come to it. Okay, can I replace this with water and throw it on you? No? Why not? Is it the same?
Silly thing.
Hello? Silly for you. Very valuable for me. I want to throw this on you. I really do.
There's an entire Indian festival based on that.
Good. Now let's go to festival. Holi. Now may I throw a bucket of color on you? Yeah? What changed?
You associate the thing with something else.
Who? Who associates? I. Good. Got it? So each of us have a different, and these associations are different. Even on a holy day, you may not want. Clear? Okay. Therefore, I'm saying you have a fixed idea about what's okay and not okay, or what's right and what's not right. Yes? Great. I'm not going to give you scenarios or specifics, but what I want you to do is to write on that piece of paper what for you is a fixed non-negotiable.
A number, any numbers?
Just whatever comes to your mind. Fill the paper if you can. If you have just one, that's fine. I need you to understand what we're doing. Wow, that was quick. Everybody understood? Nice.
But tangible or intangible?
Then your truth. Who cares? Fixed. This is how it should be.
It's also roller and tied up with the.
Huh?
It's
No, wait. Give it a few minutes. Write down. You've got a lot of them. Write them down.
But I don't want to write them. I don't want them to be fixed.
Don't. Just play the game.
No spoilers.
You are fixed. And nobody else is going to be looking at this except you. Okay? Just write it down. I want you to write down as many as you can. Okay. Now that you might hit a wall after a while, and that's fine. Draw a line. And under it, I want you to write down what you think are fixed places that many of our conversations come to. At work. At work, when you have conversations, sometimes we hit a wall, right? And how do you recognize these places of what am I fixed about? They will invariably lead to maramari of sorts. What does that mean? That's hoping. Yeah. If anybody can share one. An idea of accountability, what it means. For him, that's a fixed idea. And that will often measure stuff on the basis of that. Are you accountable to yourself? You already began to follow me. See, my fixed idea just came up. Do you notice that? No. She started a phrase speech. She kind of, because you ask her, are you hungry? She'll do all that, okay? And then you give it to her and she'll turn around, turn away. And then you got to wait long enough or just keep it there and then she'll go who won't be the hot chapati? Right? No difference. He's also fixed. Okay, you got something? Yeah? Now, take that string, make that into a roll or whatever, and tie it. Tie it nice and tight. Well, you don't have to be perfect about it. Did you write that down? You use it. Okay, I want you to, no, wait, that knot has to be really tight. Really tight. And then you can do whatever else you want to. Roll it. Okay? And here's your homework. You know what you've written. Put it in your bag. And over the next 1 week, be conscious of that fixedness coming into conversation. Yeah. So can I use yours? Okay. So let's just say you have an idea of what accountability looks like. Nobody else does. And we will often then measure people on the basis of something and say you were accountable or you were not. Ask it, why you do it? Go through. And this is about people. That's accountability. Okay. So here's what accountability is. This is what you could do. The moment you start measuring somebody on the basis of your idea of something, what you're metaphorically doing is that knot that you just tied is really tight. There's no room. And when you have a tight knot, it's really hard to let go of those things that you just did. Nothing right or wrong about it, but conceptually that's what it is. You've got a very tight knot around accountability. And it's tragic because nobody else knows it. So they're being judged and they're being measured on the basis of that. And if you want to move around that, if you want to loosen that knot, then the question you could ask is, what does accountability in this situation look like to you? Now you're loosening that knot a little and you're saying, okay, so I have a definition and I find myself judging you on the basis of that. But you've got a story too. And you may not see the same thing. And so asking that question is a place for us to build commonality instead of nurturing hatred. And you might have a definition and the other person may have a definition and a description of what accountability looks like. And once they tell you what it is, once you've asked that question, they're going to tell you. And once they tell you, it becomes their truth. They may not even have considered accountability as an issue. But once that question is being asked, like what we're doing, we've never thought about this before, what do you think about it? Once you've done that, then it changes the way we might see that whole definition of accountability. Does that make sense? So it opens it up for conversation. And in your line of work and in your line of, and we are living things, like I said, don't think that this is just about work. Who you are outside is what you bring into this space. So there's no scenario in which that person outside is different from the person inside. And if you are, then you're going to be in conflict. You're going to step up. Because you have to behave a particular way at work and behave a particular way at home. And it doesn't work like that. We have masks. And we try to put them on and pull them off and so on and so forth, and it doesn't work and it moves conflict right around that. So your homework for the next week is to see if you can practice listening a lot and asking questions every time you encounter potential difference or conflict. On to. Yes. Yeah. Oh, you see, that's the problem, right? So, I often don't live by the values that I think are important to me. We won't go there yet, but let's just play with the idea of. Well, no, I'm not even going to level it. All I'm saying is that I have a value, I have a fixed belief about certain things, and it's true for the outside world in my relationship to them. You want to go and scream and shout and use bad language on the street? I don't care. I don't want bad language in your office. I'll give you an example. But I feel free to use bad language even in your office. There's that whole mess exists. Let's just become a little aware of it, that's all. Don't try and get it right. Just become aware of it. The way you change it is not by changing that, it's by loosening the knot, by flipping it and saying, I am thinking, I have a fixed idea about accountability, right? But I don't know what that means to the other person, and unless I find out, I'm just going to be living in my miserable world, thinking that the whole world is like this. My recent conversation with somebody on politics and voting. Was it good? Right? And we've got fixed ideas. And we want the politicians to change everything, and we go and vote for a particular party on the basis of something. We don't know the guy, we don't know anything, we don't even know what they stand for. But we think voting is a good thing. So now I've got a fixed idea about, oh, you don't have that? No, I don't. Whom am I voting for? I mean, think of the people who are voting in Baldwin. They're voting for some guy in, what? Baramati. Connection? Zero. Those guys are not going to do anything when you have a water problem. You get what I'm saying? So we have an idea about the outside world and how it should be, and the only conversation is with yourself. That, okay, accountability looks like this for me. What is it for you? And some things may be the same and some things will be different, and that's fine. So don't try and change anybody here at this point in time. We're not in the business of change. We just want to look at our own world a little differently so that we can deal with our own problems a little differently. And if we can be better people just by doing this, then we'll be better people too. Right? Yeah, measure it for yourself, that were you conscious or not. Because sometimes you get into an argument and then you might wake up and say, why am I stuck here? It may come later, and that's fine. But if we can become a little more aware of it, then the nature of the conversation and exchange changes. Yeah? So next week we have a conversation about your experience with your fixed ideas and what you do. So remember to flip that thing. The moment you become aware of it, flip it and ask a question, because there's somebody else involved in your misery and it's not their fault. Great. Thank you very much.